Hello, hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Beyond the Known. This is your host, Amit. And today we are diving into something that has been misunderstood, misused, and misinterpreted for decades. Spirituality. Not the Instagram version, not the trend, not the feeling good aesthetic, but simply the raw truth. The truth that has shaped my own journey, the truth I have lived, felt, and walked through, sometimes painful, sometimes amazingly beautiful. Today, we go deep, really deep into what spirituality actually is. Beyond the illusions, beyond the stories, beyond even the self we actually think we are. If you are ready, let's dive in. So let's begin. Now, when I say spirituality, it actually doesn't mean anything complicated. I don't mean big theories, other realms, or something that feels far away. I want to speak to you the way I wish someone had spoken to me years ago, in simple language, from the place of truth, honesty, and real experience. So, wherever you're listening from, whether you're on your way to work, sitting at home, or maybe in a quiet space where you finally get a moment for yourself, this episode is a gentle invitation to slow down, to breathe, to reconnect with your inner world, and to understand spirituality the way it was meant to be understood, as something deeply human. So let's start what people actually think about spirituality. You know, in today's world, spirituality has become a trend. People imagine it to be this aesthetic lifestyle with crystals, incense, music, or also rituals. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with all these things. They can support your journey. But actually, somewhere along the way, the world made spirituality look like a performance. Something you are supposed to show more than something you are supposed to be. A lot of people think spirituality means being positive every single moment, smiling through everything, pretending as if nothing affects you. But positivity is not spirituality. Avoiding your emotions is not spirituality. And definitely trying to look enlightened in front of the people is not spirituality. Spirituality isn't about someone else. It's about becoming more of yourself. And the truth is, most of the ideas people have about spirituality came from misunderstandings. They actually think it's about leaving the world, living responsibilities, living the emotions. But spirituality does not take you away from life. It actually brings you deeper into it. It teaches you how to live with awareness, not how to escape. So now the question, what spirituality truly is? For me, spirituality has always been about truth. Not someone else's truth, not something written in the book, but the truth that lives inside me. The truth that gets buried under expectations, pressures, fears, and everything life throws at you. Spirituality begins the moment you decide to be honest with yourself. When you stop running from what you feel, when you stop hiding your pain from distractions, when you stop pretending to be okay when your heart is asking you for attention. Spirituality is the courage to sit with yourself without judgment. It's the willingness to ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why does this pattern keep repeating? What is life trying to show me? It's the process of peeling away the layers you built for survival and reconnecting with who you are before life got all this loud. And here is something important. Spirituality doesn't always feel peaceful at first. It sometimes feels really uncomfortable because facing your truths can be uncomfortable. But it's the kind of discomfort that leads to freedom. You don't become lighter by avoiding your darkness. You actually become lighter by understanding it. Speaking of my spiritual journey, my own journey didn't begin with meditation or retreats. It actually began in real life, in confusions, in moments where things literally didn't make sense, in some times when I felt literally lost and restless, as if something inside me was awake and alive, but I didn't have the words for it. There were nights where I felt as if life was trying to tell me something. Days where I felt guided towards a direction, but I literally, logically couldn't explain it. They were not fantasies or imaginations. There were moments where I was actually meeting myself more deeply. Spirituality for me showed up through experiences that literally shook me. Moments that forced me to see what wasn't working anymore. Sometimes where I had to let go of identities I thought were permanent. It didn't always feel peaceful, but it felt real. And over time, I understood something. Spirituality doesn't change your life from the outside. It changes you from the inside, and then life follows. It makes you more aware of your choices, more connected to your own emotions, and more honest about the life you were meant to live. It doesn't take you away from reality. It actually makes your reality clearer. So now the question is, what is the actual purpose of spirituality? If you ask me what spirituality is for, the simple answer is it helps you wake up. It helps you stop living life on an autopilot. It helps you stop reacting without understanding. It actually helps you to stop running from yourself. Spirituality is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming conscious. It teaches you how to live with intention, how to respond instead of react, how to understand instead of judge, how to love without losing yourself, and how to stay connected even when life is challenging. It actually helps you heal the wounds you forgot you were carrying. It helps you break patterns you didn't realize were controlling your life. And most importantly, it helps you remember your worth, your value, your inner strength. Life is very loud. People are even louder. The world even more louder. And spirituality is the quiet space where you hear your own voice again. So let's talk about stages of spiritual growth. When people start their spiritual journey, they often think it's going to be a straight line, meaning from pain to healing, from confusions to clarity. But it actually doesn't work like that. It's more like a gentle unfolding. It actually happens in stages, not the type you check off the list, but actually in stages that blend into each other. So talking about the first stage, which is awareness, this is where you actually begin to notice your own inner world. You start to catch yourself reacting. You start noticing your patterns. You actually start to realize something like, oh, this is why I get triggered. This is why I keep repeating this. This is where it all started. Actually, awareness alone begins to start shifting your life in a very big way. Then you naturally move into the element of understanding. This is where pieces of the puzzle start coming together. You tend to realize your emotions have roots, your behaviors have stories, and nothing is happening due to randomness. You start to look at yourself with the element of compassion instead of criticism. And this is the stage which actually softens you. It opens you up. And finally, even without you trying, you start living differently. Now, this is called alignment. It doesn't come in dramatic moments. It actually comes in subtle. You begin choosing what you feel is right, not what you feel is familiar. You begin expressing your truth. You stop abandoning yourself. You actually start making decisions that come from clarity rather than fear. In this stage, spirituality becomes who you are. Not something you practice, but something that flows through your daily life. So now speaking about spirituality in everyday life. So many people think spirituality requires routines or long hours of meditation. But the most powerful spiritual moments happen in very simple situations. So spirituality is the way you talk to yourself when you're struggling. It is the way you pause before reacting. It's actually the way you treat someone who can't even give you anything in return. It's the way you choose peace over winning any argument. It is the way you take responsibility of your actions instead of blaming someone. Spirituality shows up when you listen to your intuitions, when you honor what your heart is trying to tell you, when you say no to things that drain you, when you say yes to things that help you grow. It's not about leaving the world. Spirituality is not about leaving the world. It's simply about living in the world with awareness. So, as we end today's episode, I want to leave you with something very simple. Spirituality is not far from you. It's not complicated. It's not something only a few people can understand. It is actually your relationship with your own truth. Every time you choose honesty over fear, every time you choose awareness over avoidance, every time you choose to listen inward instead of outward, you are actually walking on a spiritual path. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for choosing to grow. And thank you for allowing me to share this part of my journey with you. Until next time, stay real, stay truth, and stay connected to yourself. Love and light from beyond the known. This is your host, Amit. Thank you, thank you, thank you.